I was recently asked, Larry, how do I get my family together for family scripture study without nagging, whining, and complaining and creating such a contentious situation to where it defeats the entire purpose? Now, kudos to you for reading the scriptures as a family together. And if you're not a religious family, I encourage you to regularly read something as a family on a regular basis, something positive, something uplifting, something that can unify you as a family. And as I asked this gentleman, I said, okay, tell me more about it. He said, we're having to chase them down. There's a lot of yelling. There's like, hey, come on, it's time to start. He said, when do you do it? He said, 7:15 in the morning. I said, great. Go to them today and say, guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry, man. I have been nagging, I've been whining, I have been reminding you guys, and you guys are perfectly capable of watching the clock. Man, I am so sorry for treating you guys like little kids. I just want to let you know, tomorrow is scripture study at 7:15. That's when we're going to read together as a family tomorrow morning, and I expect you to be there. Man, I love you. And then leave it at that. And he said, well, what if they don't show up? I said, you hope they don't show up. And so we did. At 7:15 in the morning came, him and his significant other sat on the couch with smiles, and they started reading as a family. And sure enough, one kid was ready and they came in. But during that duration, eventually the rest of the kids came in. Well, and the beautiful thing about this is then you follow up with a consequence. You see, you hope they don't come initially so they can experience the consequence afterwards. And we talked about several different consequences that they could apply, and he chose this one. That night, he chose to have them go to bed a little bit earlier. He said, oh guys, man, you must not be getting enough sleep to be able to wake up in time for, get everything done and read together as a family. Man, I think it's best for you guys to go to bed an hour early tonight. But Dad, we don't want to. Man, I don't blame you. Sometimes I don't want to either. But I just can't worry about you not showing up at 7:15 like I've asked you to do. Man, that's a bummer. Good night. Love ya. Eventually, your kids are going to get it. If I'm not there on that couch at 7:15 in the morning, I make my own life more difficult. For additional helps and tips, go to my Facebook page, like it while you're there, and remember to return to gratitude.